But I miss my family. It's hard. I'm on the road, and I just picture my son going to bed and being like, Mommy, where's Daddy? And he's at the Green Bay Chuckle Hut following his dream. But doesn't he know it's not working out? Go to sleep, sweetheart. Go to sleep. But don't dream. We got enough goddamn dreamers in this family.
Okay, so I am here with Greg Fitzsimmons, who has just stepped off the stage at Cap City Comedy Club. And I am going to ask him a couple of questions. He's been nice enough to do a small interview with me. And our questions are going to be geared toward social media and how social media has changed the comedy industry. How long, Greg, have you been in the business? How long have you been doing
22 years.
22 years. Okay, wow. So
23 years.
23 years. There was no social media 23 years ago, really at all. So what's changed? Like, do you use social media? Does that help you with your material, new material, or?
Yeah, I think anytime you're thinking, whether it's to write a tweet or, I do a podcast twice a week, anything that's making you pull your thoughts together and organize them and put them out, I think can lead to material in stand-up. So, yeah, I think it adds to it.
Have you ever had any negative feedback from social media?
Oh, tons.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
So you get both positive and negative?
Yeah, it's overwhelmingly positive, but there's just people they call trolls. And they for whatever reason, spend time out of their lives putting toxic stuff out there. And you just, it's pretty easy to shake it off because it's almost more hurtful if it was like a mixed compliment. But it's either really nice or it's really mean. So the really mean stuff, it just, you don't take it in.
Yeah. There's I was reading online about, it's called the Shorty Awards. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah. And it's comedians, they win, it's like I think up to 10th place. And it's all about social media, comedians on social media. You've never heard of any of this before? Okay. I was curious. I read all about it. Are you on Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Facebook, all that?
I start all the accounts, and some of them I pursue and some I don't. Like Instagram, I kind of like, but I always forget to go through there, and a lot of times I'll take a picture and just put it on Twitter. Whereas if I put it on Instagram, it feeds Twitter anyway.
Right.
So it's smart to do, but I got to remember to do that more. And then Facebook, my Twitter feeds into my Facebook. So that's really the only activity that goes into my Facebook is my tweets.
Okay.
And then my podcast, I'm pretty sure my producer puts a link to my podcast up on Facebook whenever it goes up. But I don't visit it and I don't engage with it.
Right.
Which, it's one of those things like you can't sit here and say I should or shouldn't. You got to sort of find the stuff that works for you, depending on your attention span and your schedule. And, like I have kids and I'm on the road. So for me, I just... I use Twitter somewhat when I think of it, but it's not, to me it's about writing and performing and then doing my podcast, which is a lot of effort, and then I do other people's podcasts, and so that's sort of like you can't do it all.
Right. Do you ever test your any new material that you're trying to possibly put together for a new show? Do you ever test that material through social media to see what responses you're going to get? Okay. Because what does it matter? If you get bad response, you're always going to get a negative
it's a different
response
medium,
no matter what, right?
I can't show them written
right
material. For me, I develop material. Like on stage tonight, I did, probably 15 minutes of new stuff. I mean, that's like with the, in my pocket before I go up, I've got just pages of notes, and then a lot of them are just one word, and then I'll riff on it and see what's good, and then I record it, and then I listen to it the next day, and I edit. But it's very hard to sit in a cold environment like a room and write funny. To me, I need to be up on stage.
And I would imagine that it's probably not as funny on paper when somebody's reading it, whereas in live, you're saying it.
It's a totally different sport.
Your face expressions were funny to me, almost, just as much as what you were saying half the time, you know?
Right,
it goes
right.
along with what you're getting across, you know?
Yeah, and
so.
the rhythm of it, and the pauses,
Right.
and writing. Because I'm a
The
writer
standing
as well. I wrote a book, and that was something that it's just different muscle.
What's the book called?
Dear Mrs. Fitzsimmons.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you feel that that the more you showcase yourself on the internet, the more that it would deter people from actually coming out to your shows?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I'll never know.
yeah. Okay, dear Mrs. Fitzsimmons. All right, well, that's all I have.
Well, that was
Pretty
painless.
simple.